I am now creating weekly exclusive content for Patreon, so if you are interested in that, go check out the link down below. And of course, if you want to avoid the random lottery of FIFA points, you want to go straight to the source, buy the players directly, use u7buy.com and use the code TVM at checkout. What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome back to another player review. Yesterday evening's 6 PM content, I did an icon pack and I packed myself Ronaldo, so I've decided to review Pirlo. I'm joking. I packed Pirlo. For me, on the PC, he's actually a bit of a win. Worth about 100,000 coins more than the pack itself cost. If I were on console, I would have lost around 50k in terms of the value there, but I'm relatively pleased. I mean, Pirlo is a player that obviously growing up I watched an awful lot. I know well, not all there is to know, but I know an awful lot about him and the way that he played and the way that realistically I'd like to play with him. You know, like when you play with an icon in FIFA that you used to watch growing up, or maybe someone like Ronaldinho, you'll just try and do skills all day long because that's what he did. With Gerrard, you try and shoot from 35 yards out, same with Lampard and Scholes. So with Pirlo, what I'm trying to do is give him the ball, barely move, and play absolutely insane passes out to the wingers. And that's what you're going to see an awful lot of. 5-star skills, which is a madness, really. 4-star weak foot. I would love it if he had 5-star, 5-star. I would adore it if he had 5-star, 5-star. But I'll get away with a weak foot. It's not a problem. Medium work rates. Lean body type, which fits this game very, very well. Doesn't have very good pace, which is not something that really bothers me because he's going to be playing in a 4-2-3-1 as the sort of not holding midfielder as it were, because his defensive stats just are not that great. I mean, if I were to give him like a powerhouse, for example, I could probably bump him up to a 93 CM or an 87 CDM or something, but we're not trying to do that. I want him to be free roam, second of 2 central midfield players, one of which is stay back and to do the sort of defensive midfield job, and the other, of course, is to sort of roam back and forth and do whatever it may be. He's going to be a playmaker. I'm going to try and not break the trend of FIFA 20, or the meta, if you will, but I am going to try and use a player that isn't necessarily suited to the meta as well as I'd like him to be. And that's the problem with an awful lot of these sort of, well, icons, I guess, but other cards as well, like Ibra. You want to use them, and on paper they do look really good, and because they were sensational in real life, and hence the reason why Pirlo has an icon card is because he's obviously one of the best players to ever play the game. Unfortunately, in FIFA, you never see him. No one ever uses him because he's just not as usable as some other cards are, which is just a shame. Not great pace, 84 agility, 76 balance. That is going to go against him. He is 5'10", though, which does, you know, he has an awful lot of the elements. He has the 5-star, 4-star, lean body type, and the fact that he's 5'10", that all fits this game beautifully. And then 84 agility isn't bad, but the 76 balance is going to let him down, combined with 74 acceleration and 72 sprint speed. It just shouldn't really feel that great in game. And then, of course, 95 reactions ball control, 91 dribbling, 95 composure. He's got some incredible passing stats, 96 for vision, free kicks, short passing, long passing, 94 curve, and then 90 crossing. That is incredible. 84 stamina isn't the best for a box-to-box-esque midfielder, which is basically what he's going to be. I mean, like I said, I've not put any sort of instructions on where he should be on the pitch. The only instructions set upon him were cover centre and cut passing lanes, which I didn't really expect him to do all too well, but he does get a few interceptions, to be fair to him. 79 interceptions on the card isn't great, and with 65 strength as well. I wasn't expecting him to go sort of body to body with anyone, but no, he did a fairly solid job in that sense. In terms of a chem style, you can go with whatever you want. I tried to keep the price down. Realistically, an engine is what you'd want to go with. It's entirely up to you. Like Maestro or an engine. Engine gives him that little bit of a pace boost, but still not ideal because, unfortunately, he's still underneath 80 for both the acceleration and the sprint speed. He does get a plus 10 balance jump as well as the 5 agility. The passing all goes to 99. With a Maestro, you basically get all that passing as well. You don't get the balance jump, but you do get long shots, shot power, and positional jump up as well. So he goes to a 95 rated CM. So it entirely depends, in a way, in what you want from the card. An artist, if you want to make it really cheap, gives him the balance and agility boost. I tell you something that I really wanted to do, and I didn't do it, but I was tempted. A hunter. And I know it sounds really stupid, but he has insane passing. There's only so much we can do with that agility and that balance anyway. Yeah, we can get it up to 89 agility, we can get it up to 86 balance, but what we can't do is boost up the pace enough. So what I was thinking was if I could get that Hunter on him, stick that pace up to 84, or rather 83 as a whole, and then we've boosted the shot power and the finishing and the positioning. And of course the Hunter chem style is a little bit broken anyway. It does make cards feel better than they should do in most cases. Same with the Shadow, actually. I think that does the same thing. But either way, I was very tempted by that Hunter. I just didn't want to spend like 10-15k on a chem style on a card that I may not necessarily use for the rest of the game. Like I may end up using him obviously for the review and then maybe a little bit beyond that, but then he may end up going into an SBC. Now, with that being said, I obviously just stuck a Maestro on him. We do get the 95 rated card out of it. His passing is, I mean, it's just pinpoint. Every single pass that the game allows me to play, because sometimes when you press pass and nothing happens, that's not really his fault, but the passing is just pinpoint every single time. Whether we play long balls over the top to the wingers, whether we play simple short passes inside to the other CM or maybe up to the cam, he's just accurate every single time. If you get those passes where you press it and you want it to go like a meter in front of you and it goes like 4 meters to the left, not counting those. If he misplaces one of them, that's not him, that's the game being the game. So I'm not gonna blame him for that. But yeah, his passing was brilliant. His ball control in general, his dribbling and reactions, doing drag backs and things, really, really snappy, really responsive. The issue with it, of course, is you then get the drag of the balance and the agility and the pace. So when you do end up doing a drag back, sometimes it can feel really good. And toward the beginning of the game, they do tend to feel a lot better. Once you start going into the back end of the game where his stamina has depleted big time, his pace then kicks in over any sort of ball control dribbling stat. And unfortunately, you end up having this situation where he feels like a tank. And that's toward the back end of the game. If you've got a player who's got 99 agility, balance, pace, but he has 70 stamina, you'll even feel it with those cards because it's just lack of energy at the end of the day. But obviously they will still feel better than this Pirlo does because this Pirlo doesn't have a very good starting stance, if you will. I suppose the main question is he worth picking up? I mean, to be honest, what is he, 200? Yeah, he's 200k. I mean, there are better cards on the market for 200k. You can go and complete that Ericsson SBC. What is he, 94 rated for about 240, 250? That's endgame in every sense of the word, and he is going to feel absolutely incredible. So that card's better than Pirlo. But if you want that sort of nostalgia, maybe you're a fan of him or any of the clubs he used to play for, then yeah, of course, this card is going to be worth picking up. The interesting thing, though, is that for less than double the money, so I'm literally talking about 390, you can pick up the 94, which, to be fair, isn't like a massive deal better. You get an extra 3 pace, 2 dribbling, 1 physical, and of course 5 in shooting, which is actually quite handy. And he's generally speaking, he is a better card, obviously, but I don't know if you'd want to spend 200,000 coins just to get a bit of a sort of jump on the agility and the stamina. I'm very happy with getting him in an icon pack. I saw the Italian flag and I was very disappointed. I was hoping for either Roberto Baggio or Alessandro Del Piero, right? If I got one of, or maybe Maldini, I suppose. If I got one of those, I would have been through the roof happy. Not necessarily Maldini, actually, because it was on an account where Maldini wouldn't have benefited me. But when I got Pirlo, I was a little bit like, I suppose it's kind of, 50-50 whether that's good or bad. But having played with him, he is a lot of fun. You can't take him into champs, in my opinion. Doesn't really have it anymore. And I think Rivals is actually becoming a lot more competitive than champs because there are people going after objectives rather than going into weekend league, right? But if you want to try and have a bit of fun, maybe you're in a division lower than where you should be, and I won't question why. I'll just let that slide. Then, yeah, you can have some fun with him. You can. His passing is incredible. He's really good on the ball. He's responsive for the most part, especially in the first 45. Does a very good job as a secondary sort of CM in a 4-2-3-1. I honestly really enjoyed this card. 200k is a little bit on the steep side, but that's just the price you pay for icons with the name Pirlo. It's just something you're not going to be able to get away from, unfortunately. Thoroughly enjoyed myself. Not necessarily a card I would recommend if you want to try and get better at the game, but still enjoyable nonetheless. If you have enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and until the next time, goodbye.
Football Index. The game changed. Download the app now.